Well, what I have going on is the old ranch is not doing well in the biggest drought that I can remember. The last 2 years the drought has gotten worse. I'm considering different options for it. Up here is my little campground, which out here in the remote area doesn't get very much traffic. There's a lot of old farm machinery here. Of course, my corrals and trees. But I do have a lot of scrap iron. I've been watching videos on casting. I was looking for different ideas what to do with this scrap iron besides just hauling it to the salvage yard and taking a couple hundred a ton, especially when new iron is, my gosh, 1,500 and into the thousands per ton in a finished product. But I don't know what makes a good casting sand, because I may want to do a few finished products myself. So, I was digging out a pit here for a little drainage system, which I didn't need this year. But I have this pile of leftover sand. Now I've come across all kinds of sand for casting, the brand names, clay and green sand and white sand and all sorts of sand. But here I have a fine sand. It is a jagged sand, which is supposed to be good for molds. And it has a little bit of clay in it, which should, of course it has some cow pie in it too, which should be what is needed. There you can see the sand is a combination of silica and mineral or clay. But what I noticed most, dig down here and get into some of the wet ground. If you take this stuff and squeeze it, it forms very well into a shape. And I'm thinking that's exactly what's needed for casting. Anybody has an idea if this is correct or not, I'd like to hear your input. But I have so much scrap steel here I don't like. You know, if I haul 100 ton away for $200, that's a little money. But if I ship 100 ton out at a new price or a finished product, that's a lot more money. Now I have a lot of this sand. In fact, I have whole hills of it. Well, that's the end of this. Next, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with this sand to make a decent mold. And it's something you may want to see. It involves the old school glue ingredients. And I'm going to make a mold of something. I haven't decided what yet. And we'll see how it holds its shape. do know this moisture will have to be gone. You can't hit this moisture with molten steel. I don't think that's going to work very good. I'm looking at alternatives. Some people use molasses or some form of binder. I have a slightly different theory because we have a lot of this in our manufactured right here and can be manufactured here, and that'll be in another video. So if you want to stay tuned, hit that old subscribe button.